Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Esoteria Healing. Today I'm going to talk about my experience at the Amarantos Institute where I learned past life regression therapy, and I was accepted there in 2017 December, and I was in the Aquila batch. So every batch is named a different thing, and my batch was Aquila, which means an eagle, and that really resonates with me because I have been fascinated with eagles before, and in a past life I was an eagle as well. So when I went for my class, I had already seen a few of my past lives, though not knowing for sure whether they were past lives or not. So when I went there, first day was when everyone introduced themselves and everyone gathered around in a circle, and we shared our experiences, especially the spiritual experiences that each one of us had. That really helped me because until that time I was thinking that I might be hallucinating, but when I listened to all those experiences, I came to know that all these things are a reality, and there is a spiritual side to us. We are a soul and we are energy and all of those things. And then we proceeded on to learn everything about hypnotherapy and past lives and the science behind it. So for those of you who don't know, past life regression is as much as a scientific technique as it is a spiritual one. We all had to practice many days of meditation before we came for this class, so we were ready for all the past life regression sessions. So we learned how to conduct past life regressions and guided meditations and everything from the point of view of hypnotherapy. And then we had a demonstration of a past life regression done on one of the participants of the class, and that was done by my teacher, Dr. Venu Murthy. I don't know about the person who actually went through it, but it was one of the best experiences of my life, because during the past life regression, he not only saw his past lives, and we were able to see his reactions while he was viewing all of those things. What actually changed me, what actually moved me, he contacted the white light. So white light is the source, that is God, the highest energy possible. And when you see white light in meditation or in past life regression, you are actually conversing or seeing the God light, and that is when you need to ask questions, ask for guidance, or just pay gratitude or whatever. When he experienced the white light, that was the time we began asking questions, and each one of us had our own question to ask, but of course we couldn't ask everything. So my teacher proceeded to ask the white light a few questions, such as what are we here to do, and what is the message for all of us, and things like that. And we received the godly wisdom in his answers. And I, being a skeptic and a person who was trained scientifically, there is always a skeptic mind at the back of my mind, even if consciously I'm accepting that yes, this is real, but still there is always a skeptic mind at the back who is always questioning everything. Even after learning everything in detail, I was still asking questions to myself. And what happened was that the wisdom that we received during that session alone was life-changing. But at the end of the session, when that person came out of trance, when he was asked to open his eyes, it was dark all around in the room, and when he opened his eyes, I was looking at him intently, and I saw silver rings in his eyes. I had never seen anything like this in my life, and I never thought it was possible. People say they saw spiritual miracles, they saw angels, they saw things. That was the first time in my life I actually saw something with my own eyes. When he opened his eyes, there were these silver, bright white silverish rings in his eyes, and it was as if those rings were causing him not to open his eyes properly. So he closed them again and just shook his head like that, and again opened his eyes. That's when the rings were not there anymore. And when I saw that, I was out of this world. That white light that he was talking about, that he was talking to directly, the God light, had actually entered his consciousness, his physical, mental, emotional, all of his layers, and it was actually in his eyes, and it was amongst us, and we could not only feel it but actually see it. And when I saw those rings of light in his eyes, I was completely taken aback. And that was only the beginning of spiritual experiences that I was about to have during the whole duration of the class. So apart from that, I had my past life regression done, and when I had that done, I again saw all of those things that I had already seen in my dreams, but this time there were intense emotions associated with those events, and I could actually feel those emotions and release them right there and then during the session. And that day when I went home, I was not alone. So even as I was sitting in the cab, I was feeling as if someone is there with me, and I kept ignoring it, always the skeptical mind. I kept ignoring it again and again. But when I was making dinner, I could actually feel something moving outside the window in the air. I could see something moving. At that time, I, really questioned myself whether this is something negative or if there is something positive. So I was scared of it being something negative that I had picked up, maybe because of going deep into that trance. Maybe I picked up something, so I was quite concerned. But as I went to bed, I was just laying down, I heard someone walking outside the door of the house. Now that house was the penthouse, it was at the top, and there was nobody who came to the terrace. But still I thought maybe there is somebody who came to terrace, but I didn't want to open the door because I was alone. So I kept the door closed. I kept hearing someone dragging their feet outside the door, and I grew a little bit concerned, but I felt safe since the door was quite sturdy. So I didn't do anything. But then that dragging of feet, it moved inside my room. So now I was able to feel that there is someone, just floating or hovering around me, and there is a slight noise of feet on the floor, very slight. And at that time I could feel that it was someone positive. I didn't feel any negative vibes coming from that thing. So at the same time, one of my friends was in deep danger at the same time. She messaged me on my phone and asking me for help, and she was somewhere very far away in a train, and I didn't know how I could help her. And I told her, call the police and all that, but she was very, very scared. And the only thing that came to my mind at that time was to ask this entity, whoever it is, to help her. So I just told that entity that I know that you are here, and I don't know who you are actually. So whoever you are, my friend is in danger, please go and help her there. And within minutes I receive a call from her that a person just came into the cabin of the train that she was in, and he helped her. And I was like, what? At the same time that I asked for help from that entity, someone came and helped her. And then I stopped feeling that entity around me. So I don't know who it was, but it was somebody, and I told them to do something. They went and did it, and then they didn't come back to me, or maybe they did and stopped bothering me after that. So these were the few overt incidents that I experienced during my past life regression class. Other than that, I also experienced expansion of my spiritual nature. So during the whole duration of class, we actually went to many different sessions of going into a very deep trance. In one of those sessions, I was able to feel that my consciousness had expanded, and it had expanded to an extent that I could hear the fountain which was present on the outside of the hotel. So there was this fountain, like the water was running from top to bottom on a wall outside the hotel, and I could actually hear the water as if I'm just standing right in front of it. And I kept hearing that water all the time during the whole trance, during the whole session. And me being the person who I was at that time, I didn't even notice that there was this fountain outside the hotel until that point. I didn't even know that it was there. So after that session, when I went outside to check, I could see that yes, there is a fountain outside, and I could hear the sound of that fountain as if it was just behind me. And all of that was happening inside the hall that we were in, that we were conducting the sessions in that hotel. And that was the first time I actually experienced my consciousness expand like that. and I actually spent the next few days being very extroverted. It was very unlikely. I am an extreme introvert, but right after that sessions for a few days, I was behaving extremely extroverted, and I don't know why that happened. So going through this class actually completely changed me, and I had learned this a completely new set of skills that enabled me not only to heal myself but anybody who wants healing in their life in any way. It could be a physical, mental, emotional, financial, relationship, any kind of issues in their life, they could just get a past life regression done and help heal themselves. And no, it is not like a Ramban, it is not like a cure all, it doesn't work like that. It depends from person to person how it helps you. So you have to be very open minded and go through the sessions yourself to see what the spirit has in store for you. If you want past life regression sessions from me, you will have to join the private coaching, because I don't give single sessions like that, because I have already given like 50 plus past life regression sessions, and what I have experienced is that whenever somebody comes for a single session or a set of 2 or 3 sessions, then they leave. I don't have any information about what they are doing and what they are not doing. I am totally dependent on whether they communicate with me or not, and I don't want that for anybody, because I want to stay in touch with you even after you have your past life regression sessions, because again, spiritual transformation is a journey, and your spiritual growth or journey does not end or start with past life regressions. It is an ongoing process. So I have incorporated past life regression sessions in my 6 months one-on-one private spiritual coaching. So if you want to have that experience, if you want an all-round transformation in your life, if you want more fulfillment, if you want more healing in your life in general, if you want to experience the expansion of your abilities, of what you can do in life, it helps you in so many ways that I cannot list here. So if you're interested, you can contact me. I will put all the links in my description, and I invite you to a free discovery call with me in order to discuss if this is for you. And I will see you there, and have a happy rest of your day.